the next 4 quarters, only keep it light. Strapped in tight, we're taking flight. From the field to the court, we'll have our sight.
Welcome back, y'all. This is the side piece. I'm Vic, that's Gary, Tony, and Daryl. And I'd like to start off this week with a donut. I sometimes take donuts into work, and this morning as I got out of my car, I offered somebody in the parking lot a donut. He pulled out his favorite cinnamon twist, and do you guys think that was on accident that they made that donut?
I can't even see it. A little bit more. Wow.
Have you? Do you think that's an accident?
They definitely twisted that different than they normally do.
They gave it the old dick twist.
He goes, oh, a cinnamon twist.
Grab
I
his
love
dick
these
and
things.
twist it.
And he pulled it out, and all we could do is laugh.
I mean, it does have a little sprinkling on the balls there, you know?
Can you?
It's got a little something right there.
Yeah. So I figured, you know, in the form of our suckers, this fit the theme this week. Tony, I know you're jealous.
I mean, that would have been easier to eat than that sucker.
I don't know.
I mean, that guy
that
posed.
thing was big.
Yeah, but it's a donut. It'll just disintegrate, you know?
You just got to get in the mouth, Gary, and it's
Yeah,
over.
Just boom, and you're done. That's it.
There's no repetitive. It's just
little,
get it in there.
sticky around your lips, but you're
It's
good.
over. It's over.
No problem.
Lord.
Speaking of
That was not better than the dreidel.
Okay.
speaking of
So you're saying it's
speaking
not?
of pastries,
It's not.
No,
Like, Daryl made a hell of a clip on that dreidel.
I'm a little disappointed, Tony.
Definitely
thought
not
you were-
better.
but speaking of
It was a
pastries,
clip.
I
Because of the clip.
yeah, Tony,
know,
Tony
is
liked
all
the clip
I'm
better. Tony liked his little, you know, King Pepe.
Well, just wait till Daryl does his editing magic, and it's going to be...
Oh, if you didn't show up with a dick sucker, I was just gonna put a dick in your mouth the whole time. I was gonna have it just explode at random times.
Oh, you still should.
He's gonna have his mouth open to do it though. I just kept asking
The plan
questions.
was to get you. The plan was to get you to do something with your mouth.
So you'd be like,
somehow.
oh, and
Like
then
say something sick and be, I meant, you know, like it was all planned out.
There
like
it
that.
is.
Yeah,
We got him.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh, Lord.
got him.
What do we have this week for the side piece?
Well, just something real quick I wanted to talk about since we were talking about pastries. You guys remember old McDonald's apple pies?
Oh, yeah.
They were phenomenal. Like I wanted
So
an apple pie from McDonald's, but like you go now, that shit sucks, dude.
Even on
It's just like
even better
hollow.
than the apple pies they came out with. I don't know how long ago. It was only a limited time. They had the strawberry cream pies.
Those were good. Do you remember when they
those
did the
were fucking
caramel apple
amazing.
pies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are delicious
Yeah.
too. They had the cherry, the apple. Those were the
Yeah.
staples. You know what I mean?
They're,
And they were all so damn lava hot, they would like melt your
I
mouth.
was just
Oh,
going to say,
yeah.
they're like fucking napalm. God help you if any of that spilled anywhere.
Oh god.
Which reminds me of
And then then they had the caramel apple empanadas at Taco Bell.
Oh, and those things were amazing too.
Delicious.
Speaking of hot things put in your mouth, Gary, do you remember the time you almost died trying to steal pizza rolls?
Oh, yeah. I remember that clearly because it happened to me.
Kind of hard to forget when you got something warm in your mouth, I guess.
Yeah, I forget how old I was, but it was at school and somebody had pizza rolls in the microwave and they left them unattended and I was hungry. So I grabbed, 4 pizza rolls and they're hot as shit. So they're burning my hands. I'm like, fuck, I can't fucking hold these. Throw them in my mouth. All 4. I'm like, fuck, they're fucking hot. So I tried to swallow them all and they did not go down.
Gary, that
So-
reminds me.
So I luckily I ran like a teacher came around the corner right about the time I was losing consciousness and fucking gave me a few whacks on the back and then I got to clean up the floor afterwards.
Gee,
You risked
That
life
reminds
and
me,
limb
Gary.
over 4 pizza rolls. And somehow
remember-
magically the centers were warm. It's like Hot Pockets.
I remember at the steel mill here in Pueblo, me and Gary were working together, and it was a night shift. And I didn't bring no food, and I was starving, man. So I stole somebody's tamale out of the fridge. I put it in the microwave, and I got called to go check a base of the rail outside. And while it was heating up, I went outside to get the fucking rail. I came back in, that fucking tamale was gone. I opened the fucking microwave, the tamale was gone. I was like, what the fuck? Nobody would say a word, right? Well, Gary got up to go smoke a little, like 10 minutes later, and Tony Jim goes, dude, Gary ate that fucking tamale. I go, why the fuck? He goes, oh, he was like this. He goes, I was like, what the fuck? Why would he eat the fucking tamale? But Gary would never admit to it. But Tony Jim told on you.
So I don't
He
even
said you ate
remember
the
that.
shit out of that tamale.
I don't even remember that story, so I really doubt I ate that tamale.
You ate that tamale.
I bet
So,
he ate
so,
that
so
tamale.
what I
and he
gather from
told
all
you
this
I
is
did.
no food is safe in the microwave if Gary's around.
No,
No, because he did a gesture like you would do, like that. Eat it real fast, like yeah, he did it.
I
I was like,
think
that's Gary.
I'm pretty sure I'd remember stealing your tamale, and I do not. So I
You
don't think
stole
it
my
happened.
fucking tamale, Gary, and I'm finally being able to confront you.
it's been
I don't
years,
think that ever
and
happened.
I wanted tamale.
If
No,
I've waited
if I
so
took
long.
the tamale, I would have told you I took the tamale.
Hey, listen, this
You never admitted
is
to it.
serious. This
Because I
is
didn't take it.
this
Like, I
is
don't even
Pueblo's
remember it.
problems. Okay, tamales and Pueblo is serious business, Gary.
I know,
So
but I don't think that ever
I
happened.
think you
I
think
ever
you
ate
owe
the
Tony an
tamale.
apology. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, if I would have ate it, I probably would have gave him one, but I didn't. I'd remember if I did.
Tony, do you accept
You've
that?
tamale your last tamale.
I think Gary even offered me something out of his lunchbox after that, like as like a, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to admit it.
Oh, so you hungry now? Here you go.
If
yeah,
I took,
you want some of these?
Here's a cheese stick, you motherfucker.
I would remember if I took the tamale, is what I'm saying, and that never happened. So I think
it hurt my heart for this many years.
I think
I was like, Gary ate the fucking food. I was like, stole that from
What's
somebody.
funny is
Truth be
pretty
told,
sure
And you stole it from me.
the best part of this whole thing, Tony, you stole it from somebody who went without
Yeah,
lunch.
it was
but you're
originally
mad at
stolen.
Gary for
Yeah.
stealing what you stole.
I remember like it was yesterday. I opened the fridge. I was like, whose tamale is this? And nobody in this shack said it was theirs. Like, it's not ours. I was like, I'm going to eat this motherfucker. Are you guys cool with that? Yeah, it's not ours. I grabbed the bitch, put it in the microwave. Whole base. I was like, fuck. All right, I'm going to heat this up. I went outside, came back, opened the fucking goddamn microwave. No tamale.
you know.
Can you
I
imagine-
wish
Nobody would
Can
say.
you imagine the person shocked when they go to grab their tamale out of the fridge?
You remember, Gary. I know
Oh.
you remember.
No, I wish I did eat it because it's fucking hilarious. Like
And I
wouldn't,
looked at all you, and nobody would admit it. It was me, you, and Tony Jim. That was it.
I wouldn't deny it if that was me because that's a great story. I would say yes.
You went out to smoke, and I said, bro. He's like, Gary ate it, man. he got up as soon as it dinged, and he shoved it in his mouth real quick, and he acted like he didn't do it.
That definitely
Yeah,
sounds like a Gary
I would
story.
tell you. I would absolutely take credit for that.
That pizza roll story just confirmed. the
It just reopened
I
the
would
wound.
take credit for that story. I would absolutely take credit for that because that's a great story.
we had a lot of nights out there, Gary. Like a lot of crazy shit going on.
Stealing
Well,
tamales,
It's hard to remember.
wrestling.
5 or 6 years, right?
Yeah, that was a long time
You know.
ago.
Good time.
It was a good time.
Good time.
But I remember
Good place.
the traumatic things you did to me.
Speaking of traumatic, Tony, do you remember the first time I ever met you
Yeah.
at your house?
Yeah, and I choked you out. Yeah, I remember that. I choked the shit out of you. How the world?
All
How
11,
much did you?
all 11 years old of you.
I fucking choked you out. You were sleeping.
Why did you tell me to do
I
that?
won $500 off of that. My brother said, "Go choke his ass out." I choked his ass out. I said, "Give me my money." That's what
It was
happened.
something close to that. It was almost exactly like that. You know what?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, really, pretty much. Let's move on. Well,
We don't need to talk about this anymore. I'm glad you learned your
no,
lesson.
that's the
that's
story.
it.
The
That's
story
it.
is what's
That's the end. The
next?
beginning and the end. We're done.
I don't like reliving things that make other people feel bad. Let's just move
You're
on.
right. I'm glad we didn't dwell on that too long.
I don't like making people feel bad about what happened.
No, it's good.
But you stole a tamale from me.
He fucking stole a goddamn tamale, dude. I'm telling you.
I
I'm telling
would do
you,
that.
It was
if
like
I
Isaac
took
Duran's.
if I took the fucking tamale, I would tell you.
I don't think
I-
so.
I
No,
guarantee.
I think you forgot
would.
about it.
I guarantee.
And the
I
moment
would.
I think you was hungry too, and you were like, "Fuck Tony, he's out there checking the base."
Tell
And
me
I
on
came
this
back
one,
in, you were like,
Daryl.
Seems like exactly something.
Yeah,
you
it,
do.
it definitely seems like Tony is more right than Gary at this
Is-
point.
The
"We
difference
need
is,
Tony Jim on the podcast."
but the
to
difference
confirm.
is, I would say, yeah, I took that fucking tamale.
You didn't say shit. You just looked at me. You were like,
Exactly. I would say I took it. Like,
and you
yeah.
were like, "Do you want something to eat? I got some in my lunch
Gary,
bag."
when you're a
I want
kleptomaniac,
a
sometimes you
tamale,
just don't
Gary.
remember all your theft.
And Tony remembers food.
Yes.
I go around stealing.
When you're
constantly.
273 pounds, you remember those things. Tell him, Tony. You almost starved to death.
Yeah. Hey, I had been up for days. I hadn't eaten, and you fucking took my
Yeah.
tamale, Gary.
You know what? I feel
I'd
bad
tell
for
you
you,
if I
That
took
was
the
back when I was
tamale.
180 pounds.
Trust me,
He
I would
needed all
tell
the
you.
tamale he could get.
Not only would I have told you I took it, I would remind you every time you heated something up and walked out. Like,
You know what?
you sure you want to do that?
Then why didn't you tell me who took it, Gary? There's
I
only
don't
two
even
people in
remember
that
the
fucking shack.
story.
Why didn't you tell me, yo, bro? Like, guess what, man? Tony
Hold
Jim
on,
ate that
hold on.
shit,
You know what?
and that's fucked up. I tried to stop him because you're my boy. I tried to stop him. He said, "Fuck you, Gary. Why didn't you fight for me? Because you did it."
Listen, Gary's an asshole, so I'm good. He's leading. He's getting the deal more towards him only because I do believe that if he remembers taking it, he'll be like, "Hey, remember that time I took your tamale?"
I think he forgot. He did it.
He might have been
Like
sleep
right
eating
after
at
it
the mill,
happened, I forgot that quick.
You acted like nothing happened. Like, whoa, I got food in my lunchbox. You hungry?
Gary, you
I don't
never
need this
hungry
food. I'm
food in your
suddenly not hungry
lunchbox.
anymore.
Yeah.
No, back then, if I would have ate your tamale, I still would have ate the rest of my fucking food too.
He's got a good point on that one too.
Gary, you're.
And I would have been
Gary, I
like,
love
"Oh,
you,
hey,
man."
Tony."
That's true, but there was something weird about that night, Gary. There was a look in your eye that night.
He has that.
You had that. I ate your fucking tamale, but I'm not going to ever tell you because it wasn't yours to begin with, bitch. So what?
I don't
That's
even.
the look you had in your eye.
So I don't even honestly remember the story. I don't remember the tamale or any of that shit.
Would have been funny if it
Because
was
I kept
Gary's
that shit
tamale.
locked inside of my heart, Gary. I didn't want to ever bring it
I'm
up.
just saying, it would have been way funnier if it
I
was
love
Gary's
you.
tamale originally,
Yes.
and he watched you take it out of the fridge and cook it for him. And
No.
then as soon as you left,
It
it
was
was like, "Carry
definitely-
my tamale."
Oh.
No, it was definitely from the crew before us, and they didn't eat all the tamales that Isaac brought.
I got a good one
There
for
was
you.
one left.
I was working.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, Vic's just beat a dick. All right.
Sorry.
This is a perfect lead-in of Victor being a dickhead. I worked in the state hospital one time, and you guys remember Dennis Yockridge?
Hey, so there's a guy, right? Like back in like.
No, you're gonna love this one, Tony. You guys remember
Is that like
Dennis
the
Yockridge?
lawyer?
You guys remember?
Was it
No,
the
he was a
lawyer?
cop that his wife.
Yeah,
They made a movie about it. His wife
Yeah.
paid
Oh,
people
okay.
to kill him.
yeah, because he was a bodybuilder, and he was a bodybuilder with a guy named Bob Conger at the state hospital. Bob Conger was a gigantic human being, like 6'6", 250 pounds, in his 50s. And I always called him Body by Jake, Brain by Mattel. Bob was not an intelligent human being. And I was getting off in the middle of the night on a graveyard shift, and I told him,
You're getting
Yeah.
off.
and I was like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go over to Carl's Jr. and get a $5 burger. Y'all want one?" And they're like, "Yeah, pick us up one." I was like, "Yeah, I get off at midnight, so I don't like go home and eat in the dark. We'll come over and I'll eat before I go home." They're like, "All right, cool." So I get off work and I go over to the police station at the state hospital, and Bob's eating a $5 burger. And I say, "Bob, I told you I was going to go get the food." And he's like, "Yeah, I know, but I got hungry." I said, "But Bob, you knew I was hungry, so why didn't you ask me if I wanted some food too?" And he's like, "I didn't think about it." And I was like, "But I thought about you, Bob." Now, Bob is a gigantic human being, and I'm 19 years old, and I'm full of piss and vinegar. So I start talking shit, and Bob doesn't even flinch. And the less he flinches, the madder I get, and the dumber I talk to Bob. And I said, "Bob, you stupid motherfucker. Why would you not think of me?" And I just keep talking shit like an idiot to this guy. And he just sat there and ate his $5 hamburger. And we walked over to the sink, and I was like, "You know what? Fuck this." I go outside and I start smoking a cigarette. And he comes walking out, and I swear to you, he goes, "Now, what did you just say to me?" Like an idiot, like 19-year-old Vic, I point up to him and said, "You stupid," and I don't even get motherfucker out of my mouth. That's what I wanted to say. Before he wrapped his hands around my neck and lifted me off the ground like something you would see in the movies. You would think you would do some things, but let me tell you how paralyzed with fear you'll get when you're hanging from your neck in two guys' hands. Because I wanted to say a whole bunch of things. I wanted to kick, but all I could do was hold on to his hands and pray to God that he did not fucking kill me. If you guys ever had an experience like that, it will be something you never forget in life. Just so you...
Bob wanted your cocktail fruit.
What's
That's what I was going after.
So I was talking about a fucking tamale, and you went into that.
We're talking about food and being an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
I was just trying to follow, but no, that
I mean, I didn't know how long you want to talk about a fucking tamale for, Tony. All right?
I mean, we were getting good stuff for 10 minutes.
So
Yeah.
so even
no,
better.
but that's crazy though.
So you want to talk about
Go ahead.
stories of people stealing stuff, right?
Oh God.
So Rite Aid's going out of business. Rite Aid's going out of business, and they're clearancing off all their cigarettes, right? And this is a time at the pizza place where it's mostly me, Victor, and Georgie. So we go and we load up on fucking Lucky Strikes.
They were literally 50 cents a pack.
Well, they're cheap as shit. So there's all these packs of unopened Lucky Strikes laying around the pizza place at the time. And there's a pack of Marlboro Reds. And old Georgie opens this pack of Marlboro Reds and just starts smoking them. Goes through them, and Victor comes in and is like, hey, where are my Marlboro Reds? Georgie says, I didn't know whose Lucky Strikes all these were, so I figured I'd smoke the Marlboros instead.
That's my father. And I was
One pack of Marlboros.
I was like,
A whole pack.
the whole fucking thing. And I was like, the Marlboro Reds was $4. The Lucky Strikes were 50 fucking cents. You could have smoked Lucky Strikes and not equal to one fucking pack. These Marlboro Reds. He's like, yeah. Well, I was mad.
Didn't
that
know
day.
who they were.
Bro, Marlboro Reds are like 10 or 11 bucks a pack
Yeah.
now.
There-
I'm glad I quit smoking before they went up to that much. Fuck.
Yeah,
They were like 5 something when I quit.
Now they're double.
Now they're like 10 bucks, 11 bucks.
Good Lord.
yeah, it's
You want to talk about a dick move when it comes to food? Stood over Victor's house one night. We were drinking. Victor brings home 2 things: salt, sugar. We have coffee in the morning. Somebody pours the salt and the sugar. I proceed to scoop fucking heaping spoonfuls of salt into the coffee, thinking it's sugar. And then I drank that entire cup of salty ass
Listen,
coffee.
Daryl never flinched.
Didn't make a fucking
Never
face. Just
anything.
I look like Shaq eating that fucking hot chip. Just no face.
Why didn't you stop?
I didn't want to be rude.
Like the fucking Terminator.
I didn't
And
want to be rude.
so then my wife at the time, Miranda, goes to make, I think she was making tea or something. She's like, oh my God, I mixed up the salt and the sugar. And I look over at Daryl, I'm like, how did you drink that whole cup of coffee? He's like, it wasn't good. That was all he could say. I'm like, but you drank
I
so
didn't want to be rude.
He's like, yeah, I didn't like that.
Didn't like it at all.
Wow.
You remember that time,
Tough to
that
know.
house, that was a house on Beach Shore. That was, Tony, you missed that. We partied so hard at that house. You guys remember the whole garage? We had just beer bottles and liquor bottles, like all in the studs. We went all the way around the garage and back, and Gary shifted up one night. We're on the back deck. You remember this, Gary? And I was like, you got to catch up. You got to catch up. And Gary's like, no, I don't want to.
I think this was
catch
after.
up.
I think it was
Typical
after
asshole thing.
prom one night.
Was it after
I
prom?
think it was after my prom. Yeah.
So Gary's like, fine, I'll catch up. And Gary just grabs this bottle of I think it was Captain Morgan's Parrot Bay. And you drank like the whole thing. I'm like, you at least this much. And Gary drinks it and he's sitting there. And all of a sudden, you just see him run to the edge of my deck. And the deck was like, it was on the top level. It was a split level house in here. Wow. And then I swear to you, it was like a 4-second delay. It was like, wow. We could not. Remember that, Gary?
What was
That
wow?
was the noise he made throwing up. It's like, wow. And we're all kind of trying to figure out what happened. It was Gary leaning over the side of the deck with all his throw up, and it took so long to hit. We're like, what was that noise? And then you're, sure. It was,
There was no resistance. It just came out. Like, it's not one of those where you're all. No, it was like.
listen, Tony, when I tell you it was at least this much hard liquor, Gary was like 16 years old. He's like, fuck it. And just drank, and I was like, oh, that's not going to end well.
Did you feel good after you puked?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really remember much of the night, but
That's a no.
that was so bad. That house was ridiculous.
You are a
I
pusher,
am.
Vic. You are
I-
yeah, you are.
I never realized what an asshole I was till my 25-year high school reunion. And everybody told me you are the asshole, and I was like,
Me?
You're peer pressure, motherfucker. We're doing this.
It's gonna
tonight. You
happen
good?
Yeah.
We're
right
doing
now.
it.
Let's
Uh,
go.
Get in the car because we're gonna go do this and this and this, and you're going on for the ride.
listen, during my divorce, and,
You have 20
What's that?
bucks. Because 50 gets you this. You have 20.
Yeah. How much money you got on you
I'll
right
give
now?
you 20. We're going
Why?
here.
we,
At 20, it gets you this.
listen, during my divorce, Miranda was mad at me at one point, and I was like 36 or 37, and I woke up, and she was like, are you ever going to grow up? You are the one that is the problem. I'm like, I'm 36. I think this is as good as it's going to get. and she wasn't happy with that
This is the
result.
best I can do.
She's like, I'm going to work every day. I mean, come on. No, she was not impressed by me at all. So maybe that's why we're
Well, and by
divorced.
that point, like at that point, how are you going to change? Like you've already matured. You've already hit adulthood. This is it.
Yeah. So I told her, I'm like, I think this is it. I'm thinking I'm as good as I'm going to get at this point.
I'm 8 years, I'm 18 years deep into this adulthood
Yeah, like-
shit.
Like now it's a
It did all
problem. Like
change
you
by
didn't know
time
this for the last 18
I
years.
thought
or who
I was
am?
doing a good job.
Up until about 25, you can still change. If you haven't changed by the time you're 25,
You're done. Just
That's
take it.
it.
Just take a flyer on it. It's fine.
That
I think that's what she
you are
realized.
who you are at that point.
He's past 25,
I'm way past 25.
but you're happy now, so that's all
That's
that matters,
good,
right?
man. It's fun living down here in Miami and getting close to retirement, which is amazing. So it's all good. It's all good. Everybody's coming down next week.
Nice.
We're gonna do some sailfish fishing, so I'm super excited about that. So that'll be good. Going down. Yeah, it's
Good.
good times.
I'm gonna come down there, man. Put me on a yacht or something.
Man, you want to come down? Come on down. It's awesome.
Let's go on a boat, man. Let's go fucking like Puerto Rico and shit.
There's a boat that I was looking at. If you guys want to do it, it's called Catching Fins, right? And all four of us can do it. It's 3 miles from my house. It leaves, and for $2,000, it'll take us to the Bahamas. They'll spend the day at the Bahamas, and then they bring you back. Your own private boat.
$2,000 total. Damn, I got 500.
Yeah. So like we all throw in $500. This boat will just run us down over to the Bahamas. It's a day, so you fish all days you go there, then spend the night in the Bahamas. One of the can't remember the name of the island. But I was like, man, that sounds like a lot of fun. That'd be a hell of a ride. So
I gotta give me a year so I can get in shape.
We're gonna have
No,
photos
man,
of
that's
physiques
what
out
they
there.
do.
It's not gonna be pretty.
I need to be 7 already.
just
A
get,
year
just get the
till-
John Rock.
I'm hitting Bartolo Colon, so we're good.
Give me a year. Yeah, I got Bartolo Colon.
Right.
It's spelled
Yeah.
colon.
Tony's going to be like Butterbean.
You don't want me to go down there with my shirt off.
I do. It'd be great. It'd be amazing.
Give me 12 months.
12 months. We've been doing this podcast now for like 3 months, and I don't know if I've seen a decided change in you, Tony.
Well, I'm not going to the fucking Bahamas until now. That's the difference.
Now I have to work towards it.
Yeah, not
Man,
that.
the Bahamas?
Fuck health, but
Yeah.
the Bahamas.
I'm going on a boat to the Bahamas? Shit.
Listen, bitches. Yeah, you're more like 2009 Gucci Mane right now.
No, I want to be the new Gucci, though. It'll take me a year to save up $500. That's what the real important is.
Let's get to what's important. I don't have $500.
Yeah.
Times are tough. Fucking eggs. What are eggs
Yeah,
out
bro.
there
I
in
don't know. I
Colorado?
haven't bought eggs.
I don't buy them either. You can hardly
Really?
find them. People are fucking
That's
raging
Aren't they
ridiculous.
like
when they
10
come
bucks
in.
a dozen?
You have chickens, though,
It's
right?
like $1
Tony?
an egg. It's like $1 an egg.
You have
Huh?
chickens, right?
I had 12, but the dog next door ate them, so I shot the dog and threw
True
him in my
story.
septic tank.
Shadow ban. That's it.
That happened. We just can't clip.
No.
We just can't clip this one.
The motherfucker, dude, I took my daughter out to go get eggs, and all my chickens were fucking just like mutilated, like fucking blood everywhere. And this fucking dog was ripping the fuck out of them. I went and put my daughter inside. I went and got my 22, put some bullets in it, walked outside, calm, collected. Fucking dog ran. I was gonna let it run. It stopped and looked back at me right through the eyes. Bam! Then the neighbors come out. They're like, Buttercup, Buttercup, and they're yelling for this dog. Dude, this dog was fucking a human-sized dog. I got it in my fucking bucket of my tractor, dude. I was rocking back and forth. The fucking dog's tail was hanging out. They're like, Buttercup. I'm like, fuck, dude. I just dropped the dog. I dropped that bitch. I was like, boom. I got out, dude. And I pulled the tank off my septic tank. I was like, I drugged that bitch by its tail. Jumped in that motherfucker. Dude, that was like a year ago. I haven't had chickens since, but I need to get chickens again, dude, because this fucking,
Yeah,
dude, the price of these eggs is out of control. Like, I'd rather buy like a $3 fucking little chick at Tractor Supply, bring that motherfucker home, and get eggs every day. Like, that's way cheaper than spending 20 or fucking 10 bucks
Especially
a
right
fucking
now.
dozen.
And
Like,
a lot of
that's
it's because they
crazy.
slaughtered all those because of the bird flu.
yeah.
I love me.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
me
I
some
know,
eggs,
Tom.
dude.
You guys think? Don't you guys think it's odd that they had to kill all the chickens for the bird flu, but that's the only animal that's
Yeah,
dying.
people were fucking the turkeys, so they still sold those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were pounding the fuck out of those butter balls. Hey, speaking of the whole fucking chicken thing, like it's crazy to think how many fast food restaurants there are and how many restaurants there are.
Knew this
And
was
like
coming.
there's not enough fucking cows to produce the beef. Yeah. So like what the fuck are they putting it what are they making the beef out of? What they're telling us
Oh,
is
not beef.
what they're telling us is beef. I mean, like Burger King, Wendy's, McDonald's. Dude, McDonald's alone, there's not enough fucking cows in the world to
Oh, yeah,
produce
3D
enough for McDonald's
3D
alone.
meat.
So like what are these other
Meat.
people like what are
Yeah.
they selling?
Meat.
Meat?
Meat. Soylent Green.
It's like meat, but it's
Just do
schmeat.
the schmeat all day.
Fucking Phil Hartman tried to warn you about this.
What do you mean it was coming, Vic? Talk to me.
It was
What do you
on,
mean
it was on the
coming?
Oh, it was-
algorithm today. Everybody was talking
Oh.
about
It was coming.
it.
Oh, was
now,
it?
Well, now that we
I
got
just think on the
RFK,
algorithm.
let's see what he does. We got him and Tulsi.
Hey, did you see his first order of business?
No, I
He is not allowing pharmaceutical companies to run ads.
that's good. That's a good one. I like it.
You just wonder
So
how
I go ahead.
you just wonder how much is like almost predictive programming, right? You're watching something and they're like, "Hey, does your leg ever itch?" Well, yeah, actually, it did like
It
15
itches
minutes ago.
now.
Well, we can take
Yeah,
care
it
of
didn't
that.
itch till you said does it
Yeah.
itch.
Wait, yeah, is it below your hip? Weird, my leg does itch below my hip. You know, like, do you have toes? Yes, I do. You may have.
Well, is it
leg
like
that itches.
like those old like TV show psychics to be like, oh, I'm thinking of something,
Yeah.
I'm thinking somebody's uncle Jim,
Yeah,
and somebody's like, I had an Uncle Jim. Oh,
yeah.
did he have black hair? How did you know?
Did he have 2
Yes.
ears? My God, he did. How did you know that? I bet he had 2 hands
And
too.
he had a weird voice.
So I
Yeah,
wanted to bring up
weird shit.
while we're talking about drugs, pharmaceuticals. I don't know if they just reran this article down there in Miami or not, but here in Colorado, all the news stations hit it just the other day. 22-year-old died of asthma. Couldn't afford his inhaler. Had to decide whether to pay rent or for his inhaler.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
What?
if you saw this,
No.
Daryl, or anything. So I'm looking at it. People are like, "Oh, yep, that's what happens. Trump is doing this. Trump is doing that. Blah blah blah." And then you look at the date on the article, and it's January of 2024.
Of course. It's
Like, why would they run that a year
For convenience.
later?
yeah.
Because they're not
Yeah.
lying. They're not
Exactly.
lying about it happening. But it wasn't convenient at the time.
No, they're putting
Well,
it
yeah.
out to be misinterpreted.
Isn't that the whole game plan? Misinformation.
Well, it's like insulin.
Yep.
Like
like
if you go back and look at insulin had a patent on it, right? And when the patent ran up is when people couldn't afford insulin anymore, right? Like that's what happened with that insulin crisis. Like it was capped because it was patented, and then the guy that created it was like, "Hey, this is a life-saving thing," you know. Going back to that though, don't you think it's odd that we give Narcan for free, but we can't give fucking insulin for free?
But yeah.
Like you got to have Narcan everywhere. There's Narcan everywhere. They could give that shit for free, but they can't give insulin.
Because one you can charge the
life-saving-
insurance companies, and then they can charge, and then everybody can get rich. But I mean, it's just how easy it
Terrible.
is to profit off of something.
It is horrible. Our healthcare system's broken.
So yeah, so we're
Yeah,
actually
so-
getting change with this regime, which is crazy. Like with RFK getting in, Tulsi, Trump, Elon.
You just wonder, like, how successful they'll be at weeding out the bullshit.
Well,
you
look,
know,
look
how
at the
they'll-
people screaming right
if
now,
they'll get stonewalled.
singing songs and shit like weirdos.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, I'm hardly waiting.
Throwing cash in there.
Oh,
I like that dude.
He got the
man.
crazy
Like,
eyes,
What
you know?
I've seen, I
like
like
it.
that guy.
yeah. I like Cash too. I think he's awesome. Cash Patel is he's I like Tulsa Gabbard too. Did you know that they put her on when she switched from the Democratic Party to the Republican? They put her on a
like the
watch
terrorist
list.
watch list.
Yeah, somebody that was actually in the army was in the terrorist watch list because she switched her party affiliation.
Weird, right?
Yeah,
and then
weird.
Well, she had
I'm
to
sure
answer
she's
questions
actually-
about Russian
I did
collusion and
that.
stuff because of Clinton.
Dude, I switched my party. I registered Democrat, voted for Obama the first time. And I was like, I can never do this shit
I
again.
cannot do this. ever.
I've made
I'm
mistakes.
voting Republican.
But
Like the first year I was eligible to vote, it was Obama's election. And I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna vote for Yes We Can and change and first black president. And I was like, damn, that was a mistake.
I wish I had to.
Not because he was black or anything. It's just I just regretted doing it. I was like, fuck. Now I voted Trump.
He is definitely one of the most congenial people ever. I mean, he is right up there. Like, he was a dynamic speaker. That's what he
Dude.
had going for him. Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, you know, the exact opposite of Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump cannot get a crowd to follow him with the way he speaks. I mean,
there's no polish at all to Trump. This is what it is.
No.
Oh, dude.
Obama was the best speaker of all time, politically.
I don't know.
Politically?
There's another guy back in the 30s.
I was gonna say, well, I didn't really want to say it, but he.
I mean, come on.
I mean, that guy. Look at what
Who's
that
better than Barack Obama?
guy in the 30s brought on.
We mentioned it earlier.
Who is it? What's the name? Who's better than
Bill
Barack
Clinton. Bill Clinton was good. Bill Clinton was good.
He's not better than Barack Obama. Who's better
Bill
than
Clinton?
Barack Obama, Gary?
Well, they do-
Bill Clinton was not better than Barack Obama.
Bill Clinton was. A
He was smooth when he
Dude.
was getting impeached for Monica.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he
I
was-
mean,
he was
Bill
slick up
Clinton
there,
was a
like, yeah.
smooth- He was.
He's probably
He's like-
third all time. Obama second. Who's first, Gary?
He wants you to say the name.
We're not doing it.
I mean, the one guy.
I mean,
the one guy who created a mass following. Where
are we talking Jesus?
I mean,
Who's second to Jesus?
Adolf Hitler managed to turn the whole country. Like, people loved him. He was Time Magazine Man of the Year, for fuck's sake. And look what he turned out to be.
Yeah.
I can't believe you said that name.
Like, that guy.
he just gave
everybody
his
into
heart out to
fucking
everybody.
following.
That's all. It's fine.
Yeah. The way
Yeah.
he spoke, giving his heart out to everybody, really fucking did wonders.
I mean, he changed
really
the
did.
world.
No, he really did.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he made history.
Those are
did.
not lies.
It wasn't awesome. It wasn't awesome. What did say?
As American politics, who's the best speaker
Teddy
of all
Roosevelt.
time? Gary?
I mean, I'd say Barack Obama is the most eloquent fucking speaker.
That's what I'm saying.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Corrupt and as gay as they come, but
What can I tell
Best
you? He
speaker.
likes
Roosevelt was
classical
good.
Generally,
music,
the people-
and
he likes Big Mike. Listen,
Like, generally, the better you
I'm
are,
a Trump guy.
like those guys that speak like that get people to follow them like that. Like, there's a reason they
I'm
They
just saying
need to
that
talk
the
like that to
cadence they
get people
use
to
and like
follow
the
them.
frequency of their voice, it's got to affect people a certain way.
Yep.
You-
It does.
He made the Cookie Monster the Veggie Monster. He started funding fucking transvestite fucking bathrooms for school. This guy,
And you voted
I
for
mean, he had power in the tongue. You know what I mean? I did the first time. I did. Hey, I'm a truthful guy.
Still,
Mom was heavy Democrat.
today.
Family was heavy Democrat. First, I was 18, and I was like, yo, I'm voting for the black guy because I want change. I want the first black president. That was my motive. I made a mistake.
I think Roosevelt was good. If you
You
go
know-
back and read Roosevelt's speeches, he was good. Have you read Roosevelt's speeches?
So the problem
Yeah.
is, like, you don't get to hear them, though. Like, we can't compare because you can't hear the inflection in
Yeah.
his voice and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Whereas Obama, you could hear him change his fucking tone. Like, the guy was fucking good.
Kennedy was good too. Kennedy
was really good.
really good. Kennedy was good.
Obama's the best.
I highly encourage you to watch Kennedy. Kennedy was really good.
I
don't
have.
think you-
I've done reports on Kennedy. He was good.
Kennedy-
But Obama? Okay, so Obama's talent with speaking, plus he was black, his influence, like it all came together for
It was
Obama, right?
something
Like
new.
it was his skin color. it was something that never had been done before. It was the way he talked, how
Oh,
he
and
was
he's a
proper
smart
with the way he
fucking
spoke.
guy. Like he's a
Yeah,
really
like it
smart
was
guy.
everything coming together.
And you see him, and he seems like a likable guy. Like he comes across as fairly likable.
Yeah, like he would come across like he was
I
a
was
straight
also
man.
I was also reading that like he they dyed his hair gray his second term to make him be more relatable. Did you guys hear
No.
something like that? Yeah, like
Probably Big Mike just squirting load all over his fucking head.
You broke Daryl.
no, there was some though saying like to make him more relatable in his second term, that's why they gave him gray hair to make it look like the office had an effect on him. But I mean, a lot goes into those guys. You know what I mean? Like how they come across.
A lot does go into those.
Lord, we're losing Tony. Tony can't even keep it together.
So I don't know
I
if
mean,
they dyed his
come on,
hair
though.
because he looked actually older. Like he had wrinkles. Like I think like he changed. Like, and you look at George Bush, how much George Bush changed. Like they all change in the office. That's got to be a very stressful fucking position. No matter how good you are at it, it's got to take a toll on your body.
Trump's hair hasn't turned gray at all.
I mean, that's probably fake hair. Tony.
I mean, his hair is something. I don't know what we consider it. It's something. Does he have any hair right here, or is it all
Comb
like
over?
here?
I don't know.
I mean, I
think it's all combed.
don't know if he has any
Like
hair
it's-
on top.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think we should do a deep dive on what Donald Trump has underneath his right here, because it looks like it just like swirls from here. The thing that scares me more than anything in politics nowadays is how Congress has made it that executive orders is the only way to get things done. And that is absolutely the exact opposite of what we should be, right? Like Biden came in, he signed 75 executive orders that undid what Trump did. Trump did the exact same thing. Instead of like having time to like us to vote on it like we should, it shouldn't be carte blanche, executive order, because that's not the way we're designed, but that's what Congress has made us become.
Well, yeah, because if we pass
so
anything to try
much.
and make it like a law, if one side doesn't agree with it, they're just going to drag their feet, and it's going to take 4 years to even get a vote on it.
Yeah,
That's the problem. If terms were
Well,
8
yeah,
years,
just term limits.
Yeah.
Like you can only run like one time.
I'm not
you're
saying
done.
I want that, but like if you had 8-year terms, I think presidents would take a longer approach. Like, okay, let's put this in law.
I actually like that. So
pass it
instead of
through
being,
Congress.
and you can't, so you're saying, should they be able to run for 2 terms
Just
still, or
one
should it
8-year?
just be 1 8-year term max? That's
Well,
it.
I mean, if you want 16 years of the same guy, then vote for it.
I think
You know what I mean?
I think if we do that, it should be 1 8-year term, and they absolutely need term limits on congressmen,
Yeah.
senators.
Yeah, you can't
Like,
be a career
all of them.
politician.
They need
Like,
term
you shouldn't be able
limits.
to be a career politician.
yeah,
That's not how it was
No,
designed.
that should,
No career politician has ever
No.
done any good for the country.
yeah.
Maybe it should go in decades. Like go like 10 years. If you vote for this person, it's 10 years.
I wouldn't
with
even say
them.
that. I don't want to see like a
Whatever.
party. Like majority party is this, majority party is that.
But like everything they would take time doing their job. They would
Well,
take time.
the thing
to do it
is,
right.
the thing that I go back to is like they have made things so eccentric that it's one or the other, where it's not like balance of any sort, right? Like it's got to be a fight. It has to be a fight. And I think back to when I first started voting and getting into politics, I really liked Joe Lieberman. He was a good middle of the road Democrat that I loved. And he would have mopped the floor with George Bush handily, but he didn't beat the climate change drum, right? So he didn't get the nomination. And at that point, I was like, man, this is crazy, you know? Same thing. I think Bernie Sanders would have beat Donald Trump the first time, but they rigged it for Hillary. They did it this time with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, right? Like they put the candidate up there that is, and it's made this divisive thing in politics where you can't even have a conversation that is good common sense because it is so far to one side or the other, you know?
Well, I think we're far better off without Bernie Sanders. I'll just say
I
that.
agree. Listen, I'm not saying I like Bernie, but do you agree?
Right.
But I think you're right.
Just
He
the
would have-
momentum he
He would have
had.
been like Barack Obama.
Yeah, the momentum and popularity he
Yeah.
had, he'd have won.
Free education, free
Yeah.
healthcare.
Well, free
Free
everything. Why
everything.
fucking
Right,
have a
Bernie
job?
didn't have
It's
to work,
fucking
so why
free.
should anybody
Everything's
else?
free.
Fine.
Yeah.
Like that, but that would have won, and that's the biggest problem with the country is that's the kind of people we have. They don't want to work, and I mean, I agree. We've gotten too far to where everyone fucking work. You just fucking beat the drum every fucking day, and it shouldn't be like that. People need to like. I take all the time
yeah.
off I get. I take all my vacations, sick time, everything. I don't waste it or give it back. That's my time. I'd rather be at home with. I work to live. I don't live to fucking work. And people, that we got two sides where you got people. Oh, you should never call off of work. Oh, fuck you. I'm calling off. And then you got the other side, far fucking spectrum. They don't want to fucking work at all. They want free everything. Student loan forgiveness. I
Yeah, me
paid
too.
off my student loans.
If they do that, they should pay everybody back for who
Well, the
paid
other
their
thing
student loans. Like, they can't just
The
do
other
that.
thing,
Yeah.
Like, that's
I
fucked
think
up.
it's silly that they pay it off, but I think it's silly what they charge too.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like
Oh, it's
I
outrageous.
think it's a racket that they ask, or they almost make employers. It's almost like they made employers say, don't hire anybody unless they have a degree.
Well, yeah, it's the
right?
same thing where they did
Where-
with DEI, but now instead of a degree, you
Yeah.
just got to be diverse. I guess that's the easiest way to say it.
Yes. It's just crazy that they did that. So I think in college, you go back to the two things that I always think is like, it was in 1950, the average CEO made like, I don't know, like 10 times what his mid-level manager made, right? Now your CEOs are making millions and millions and millions. Their bonuses are 30 million, right? And your managers are barely making more than what they were in the 50s. So it's become a top-heavy system, and the same thing with college. College used to be somewhat affordable. Now they make it so you have to get a college degree to get a job, and it's unaffordable. They set this system up only to line the pockets of
Well,
somebody,
yeah, like the
right?
goal was to eradicate the middle
That's the
class.
problem. That,
It was just to keep us in a high
Yeah.
class and a low class.
Yeah,
that's
they
dependent on the
sold you
government.
on-
That was the whole goal.
yeah, they sold everybody on the American dream of fucking buying a home, working, retiring when you hit this age. And it's all a fake dream. You shouldn't have to work till you're 67 to fucking retire.
Yeah.
You should retire whenever
People
you're able
die
to.
by then.
Yeah. Like you should be able to retire. You shouldn't have to work. And so, yeah, the American dream, buy a home. Who the fuck can afford a home now? Like we're all lucky. We all have homes. We've all worked. We've all fucking been smart with our money. We can afford that shit. But the average American's going to afford a fucking house now? Like in Pueblo, Colorado, you're going to pay $300 and some thousand for a 2-bed, 1-bath
When
house.
the median income
Come
in
on.
Pueblo is probably
I think it's
$60,000.
like 47.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 47. No shit.
Nobody. I didn't realize how bad it was till my buddy and I were talking the other day, and the median income of America is like 110,000, right? But the average income is like 250,000. Well, that's crazy to think about, to know that so many people make so much money, it doubles, but right in the middle, it's $100,000, right? It's something crazy. Are you looking
It's
it
on
up,
the
Dale?
debt clock. They have all this crap on the debt clock. I was looking at it the other day because they had like the house, like what a house used to be, and then it'd give you like a year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and the interest rate on a house. So even if somebody could afford, like you make 60,000 a year, say a house is 300 and some thousand, and the interest rates aren't fucking
Yeah, so-
6%. People
so
can still
median income
afford
now
that.
is $43,385. Median income in 2000 is $31,653. So it went up by $12,000. The median new home now is $420,556. The median new home in 2000 was $162,009. So that went up almost
Yep.
$300,000. Median new car,
I bought my-
average new
And
car.
you made
$48,138. Average new car in 2000, $22,131. So that went up
and you make $12,000
and everything went
more
up,
a year
like,
median income.
50%.
It's all BlackRock.
Yeah, they fucked
It's all
everybody.
BlackRock. It's all BlackRock, Straight Street, and Vanguard. They own 75% of the stock market and 60% of single family homes. That's why rent went through the freaking roof, right? Like they just started buying up homes in cash like crazy, and then started jacking up rent prices, and it's meant for all of us to just owe somebody something.
Like we have the other rental house. When we bought this house, we kept the other one. We rented out, and we rented out for like $2,100 a month. It's a 5-bed, fucking 3-bath, and we do $2,000
That's
just so
cheap.
somebody could afford it. Like we're not trying to make
That's
money on
cheap.
it. Yeah, it's super fucking cheap. We could get another
yeah, dude.
1,000 off
All
it
day.
easy.
And like anymore, everybody builds a 3-bed, 2-bath, 3-bed, 3-bed, 3-bath. And people need a 5-bedroom
Yeah.
is the biggest thing. Like it's like that
Yeah.
the families got bigger, but it's not just like the family having kids. It's like the kids who can't afford to leave, so they're at the house. And then they have a person, they have a spouse, and then, somebody else and somebody else.
Yeah, they've made everything is so unaffordable now for the average
Yeah.
citizen. It's
But-
outrageous.
But that goes back to looking to like where things started to what they become, right? And I think back to, like we talked about it last week, how I love RFK and how smart he is. And I really wanted RFK as the president because I think he's far more knowledgeable about why policies and history happens. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now, and I'll give you the perfect example. In 1983, Ronald Reagan repealed the Freedom, the Freedom of Press Act, right? And the Freedom of Press Act stated that if I said something bad about Gary, for 5 minutes I could talk.
Never.
But
Why would
Yeah.
you?
but then the media outlet would have to give equal time to Gary so that the John Q. public can make their own opinion on what was going on. Now you think back when that happened, that's when CNN started, CSNBC started, these 24 hours news networks where they used to be trusted as non-biased reporting of news to more of an opinion thing, right? And that's when they started really manipulating the system of what we do. Like the intent, Ronald Reagan said he did it because the news stations were complaining that they weren't making money. Okay, so he's trying to help them out, but look what it ended up being in 2024 when they're just manipulating the elections, right?
Well, just manipulating the public. It's not even just the elections. It's the public, the way they think,
Yeah,
causing,
Yeah.
hysteria, fear, chaos.
yeah, exactly. My favorite thing is there's a sweatshirt the other day on TikTok Shop that said it had the guy with the bubonic plague mask. You know what I'm talking about? The steampunk mask.
Oh, yeah.
And it says the same
The same people that sell the
panic.
cure cause the
No,
illness.
this one said the same people that sell you the panic sell you the cure.
It's true.
It's the truth.
That's all it is.
They feed you what they want you to know.
Put
And
this stuff in your body. Feel
there's-
better.
so yeah, I mean, you think about that though, like it's petrifying exactly in politics. Like Tony's saying, well, I just wanted something different. It was Obama. Nobody knew anything about him when he was running. He was just so charismatic, right?
Like I said, I think it goes off like the cadence, the tone, the frequency of his voice. It like gave people that like soothing feeling. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of shit with
It
like
did.
wavelength
Oh,
and
yeah.
frequency that like if you hit the right spot, you can like soothe somebody's like attention. You can like make them anxious. You can make them react a number of ways just by the tone and the frequency of your voice. Kind of weird.
One of the things that they made a movie about it. It was called The King's Speech, right?
I didn't watch it.
You remember that movie?
I only heard about it. I never watched it.
Same thing. They're like, there's a way you have to talk to people.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Like
And
this is how people want to be talked to. They want to be soothed. They want to be talked to like they're 5. They want to,
there is no coincidence that Joe Rogan has the most followers. It's his delivery. It's his everything.
Yeah.
Right.
because he tries to
his
maintain
honesty.
the same cadence no matter what's happening. The same tone, same everything. That and his audio mixer is probably amazing.
Can you buy one of those, Daryl?
We can all
To make
buy
my
one.
voice sound better.
Yeah, when Robert Downey Jr. was on Joe Rogan, he's
Oh.
like, "Oh, what do you think?" He's like, "We could make that today." Not
You
now.
couldn't make it.
Dude, yeah.
He's like, the
Yeah.
thing is,
How about
at
just
least they
laugh?
detracted
That
from me,
and,
and they went more after Ben Stiller's Simple Jack. they really left me alone in blackface, but they
Yeah.
went after the Simple Jack. I was like, oh my god.
That or
Oh,
blazing
no,
I
saddles.
was
They
just
couldn't
gonna
make
say
blazing saddles again.
Airplane.
Oh yeah, you can't do airplane either.
Oh
All
yeah.
the
Dude,
airplanes.
The Office.
Yeah,
You could
couldn't
make
do
The
it.
Office now.
I know, dude. People. I mean, if it's funny, can we just laugh
No,
at it? How
nobody
about
wants to laugh.
that? No,
No, like really,
no,
everyone
it's
gets
too
all like serious, super serious in their feelings. It's like, oh my god, calm down. It's a joke. Like really,
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
like
it's it.
anymore. It seems like the majority of people can like not take a joke anymore. They don't get humor. Like humor is just gone.
No, not at all.
Well, and it's like the intent of it. You know what I mean? Like, are you being malicious in what you're saying? Or are you just laughing because
Right,
it's
yeah.
funny? You know what I
You
mean?
can
Like,
laugh because something's funny, man. It
golly.
doesn't have to be serious all the time. And people get bent out of shape about it.
yeah.
It's a good time.
I like Kill Tony.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
guys watch Kill Tony
So-
ever?
Hinchcliffe?
That dude is ruthless. Yes, that dude is
Dude, even at the Tom Brady roast, I was like,
ruthless.
man, this guy came out on fire. He smoked
Whoa.
everybody
Yeah,
in
I'm
like
not
a
even gonna
minute.
repeat
I was
his
like, this
joke.
is crazy.
Yeah, he is a ruthless human being. He is funny. The ones that he's
Well, that's the
Yes.
comedy we need. You need people not to be offended. Like there's no reason words hurt people so much. I don't understand when that became a
No,
thing.
well, all this sensitivity, sensitivity training and stuff.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Like
Yes.
I'm embarrassed for them.
It's like, man, like we
I like
understand we
that.
grew up with like South Park, Family Guy,
and they're still
yeah,
on.
and
Yet
somehow like we're offended by everything. I'm like, really? I was like, South Park talks shit about everything, and nobody says
Yeah.
anything to them,
everything.
and no one says a word. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's South Park.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know what changed in people, but I don't understand
It almost feels like certain people get the pass. It's like if someone was to say like the N word, like a white dude saying the N word, like, oh, he got a pass. It's the same thing with like certain comedians or certain types of comedy. They're like, oh, they got a pass. How?
I agree with that because like the Kathy Griffin
Yeah.
holding up the fucking Trump flag.
Pass.
Like, yeah, all they all thought it was hilarious, but when a different comedian says something offensive, oh, you can't say that. Which I didn't mind
Whatever.
the Trump head thing either. Like, it wasn't a funny skit, but
And people
It-
just get crazy about like the stupidest things, and like certain people
It
get
is.
passes and certain people don't. And I'm like, I don't understand what's the difference here. Like, I'm not isolating one group of people.
if something's funny, I laugh. I don't give a fuck who said it, what it is. If something's not funny, I say it's not funny. But I don't
Yeah.
care if you keep
If
saying
that's what
it.
you
It
find funny,
doesn't
that's fine. I don't
bother
care.
me.
It'll change
No.
nothing. And the world will still keep turning.
Yeah.
We'll still pay our taxes. That'll be
Yeah.
the end of it. And guess
And my day
what?
just moves on. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It is. The one that I really like too, that I think is severely underrated, is Ricky
Oh,
Gervais.
dude, that guy's savage as shit.
Oh, he's amazing.
Dude, that guy is ruthless.
Yeah,
Ruthless.
but the thing is, like, there's a lot of truth in
Yeah.
what he's saying, and he's not even trying to glaze over it. Like he's trying to be. He's not even trying to be funny
No.
about it. He's like, this is the truth, and this is what it is, and people are like, it's like, you're funny as hell. I'm like, all right,
I like him. I even like his movies, like what was it,
Yeah.
The Invention of Lying?
no
I don't
one
know
could
if I've
lie,
watched that
and
one.
then he started lying, and everybody started believing him.
No one could lie, and then he just all of a sudden starts lying. Yeah. So everyone believes everything he says because nobody can lie.
Like he goes to the bank to get money, and he's like,
Oscar
no, I had
speech.
this much money, and they're like, oh, you must have. Here you go.
Yeah.
Do you guys see they're coming out with the accountant too?
Ben Affleck, man. Ben Affleck's the shit.
No,
April 25th.
really.
Oh
Dude, the
yeah.
account was fucking good.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
accountant too.
That was autism before it was cool.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
that.
now
I got that
everybody has it.
1980s autism. It's different.
Yeah, it was bad
Yeah,
before.
you didn't get yours.
Yeah,
You
I,
didn't get yours from vaccines. You
yeah,
got,
I didn't
you
get
were just,
injected
you
with
just had-
superpowers. This is how I came.
Yeah.
You were the OG autistic. No, the OG
Special times for special people.
special type.
Speaking of special people,
It's,
Elon answering questions at the in the Oval Office was the highlight of the week. Like I know everyone was talking about his boy,
Yeah.
but it's like when he was answering questions, it was like, oh, so you mistakenly reported the condoms to Gaza. It was condoms to somewhere else. And he's like, I'm not going to bat 1,000. I'm going to make mistakes. He's like, but I'm going to, try and correct them as fast as possible. He's like, if I make a mistake, call me out on it. It's fine. He's like, I'll fix it, whatever it is. He's like, but it's still $50 million in condoms that went somewhere.
So that was a real
It
thing.
didn't go to
That's a
Gaza, it
different
went
place.
somewhere else. But there was $50 million in condoms that went somewhere. He's like, he's like, the taxpayers don't at least, they should know that $50 million in condoms went somewhere.
Was it to Wilt Chamberlain?
Now that's how you got to 20,000.
We know it wasn't Magic Johnson.
No,
Okay.
no, they've been more safe.
What?
One still has AIDS, but the other is more safe.
No, not
Oh,
anymore. They said
he's
no.
cured.
Yeah, they said they can't find it in his system. Matter of fact, he was donating blood the other day.
Wow.
What the?
Yeah, I still
how
don't
does
want to
that
go to a
even
barbecue at his house. Not in the summer.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
I wouldn't trust him as my chef.
Oh.
No.
Would you trust to be Barack Obama's
Nope.
chef?
You get shot by a lake.
Did you? I don't know how people don't realize those things happen. Like, I was telling somebody about that, like, he drowned. I was like, he was a Navy diver that drowned, paddleboarding in 3 feet of water. They're like, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like,
You think?
that's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
It makes
there's
no
things
sense.
in this world you don't trust, right?
Gas station sushi.
Drinks from Bill Cosby. The drinking water in Flint, Michigan.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
those
email
are all
at
good
Magic
things.
Johnson's house.
Hillary Clinton's emails. All the things.
Yeah, there's a handful
all
of things you just
reasonable
don't
things
trust.
to be questioned.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vic Sears, when he's 18 years old, telling you it's a good
Mhm.
idea.
Mexican tap water. I mean, it's all the same. Same,
It's all
but
the same.
different.
Yeah, listen, but
Have you ever seen that
Let-
movie? It's
what?
the interview with James Franco and Seth Rogen, where they go to interview like Kim Jong Un. Yeah,
Yeah, Kim Jong
and
Un.
he's talking. It was like same, but different. It's funny as hell. Too.
Rocket
Yeah.
Man.
It's got
Oh,
Katy Perry
Rocket
firework
Man.
at the end when they blow him up. It's crazy. It's a crazy movie. It got banned, of course. Like over there in North Korea, it got banned.
I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Here it was fine, but it didn't make a lot of money. But still funny though.
I think maybe the worst movie I've ever seen was that South Park one where it was like puppets.
Oh, dude, Team America? Team America was amazing.
That was
Dude, that was the
terrible.
funniest thing of all time.
Oh, fucking hilarious. Matt Damon.
Dark
Yeah.
America. The only part
Yeah.
I love. Oh, Dark
Yeah, no, they
America.
said the Matt Damon puppet kind of looks semi mentally disabled, so they played him as such. They're like, oh yeah, since his puppet came, it kind of looked a little slow. We made it Matt Damon. That's why he's all dumb.
You guys remember that one movie with Michael Keaton where he keeps cloning
Oh yeah,
himself,
multiplicity.
but he gets
Yeah.
Oh,
She
dude, that was
touched my peppy, Steve.
You were amazing. And time after time again, he's like, "You what?" And it's Steve. Hey,
It's
Steve.
Steve. She touched my peppy, Steve.
And do you remember Steve at the pizza shop wanting to fight me because I kept calling him
Yes.
Steve? Because I kept saying, hey, Steve, I'm fucking tired of you. We can take it outside. I'm not going to beat up an old man with a bum leg, Steve.
Well, his hands were deadly weapons, so you probably would have lost that quick.
No, not Steve Abraham. Not Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve Stein?
Steve what? Yeah,
Seiss.
Steve Seiss. I think he still works at the pizza place.
Really?
Yeah.
So they got
Yeah.
the pizza shop and Steve? Okay.
I think so.
He was a hell of a worker. Like, that guy was
But he was
showed
a
up
fucking
there.
lunatic.
He was
I
a
mean,
prick.
if I say somebody's fucking unhinged, that's saying
I
something.
mean, there was a type we hired at the pizza shop.
Correct. I mean,
On him.
If you are mentally
Unhinged.
unwell, you're welcome here.
That was the time.
we're like the home of the wayward
Mhm.
children. Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah. That's how it
I
goes,
like it.
It's a good time.
All the things and stuff and
Yeah.
things.
Back when you could trust things. Now you can't trust nothing.
Wow.
Well, all right, guys. I think we're good
I
to
guess
wrap
that-
there for this week on the side piece. If you like what we did, let us know.
All right.
If you don't like what we did, let us know. As always, like, follow, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you guys.
All right. See you guys next week.
With laughter and stories, it's our holiday. From old memories to new jokes, we're ready to deal. Life's a wacky game.